Om
Om
Vakratundamahakaya
Vakradundamahakaya
Suryakoti
Suryakoti
Samaprabha
Samaprabha
Nirvignam
Nirvighna
Kurume
Kurume
Deva
Deva Sarvakaryeshu
Sarvakaryeshu
Sarvada
Sarvada Saraswati
Sarasvati
Namastabhyam
Namastuvyam
Varade
Varade
Kamarupini
Kamarupini
Vidyarambam
Vidyarambam
Karishyami
Karishyami
Siddhir Bhavatu
Siddhir
Me
Sada
Sada Gurur
Guru
Brahma
Brahma
Gurur
Guru
Vishnu
Vishnu Guru
Gurudeva
Deva
Maheshwaraha
Maheshwaraha
Guru
Guru Sakshat
Sakshat Param
Brahma
Brahma Tasmai
Tasmai
Shri
Shri
Gurave
Gurave
Namaha
Namaha.
Om
Om
Sahana
Sahana Bhavatu
Bhavatu
Sahano
Sahano
Bhunaktu
Bhunaktu
Sahaviryam
Sahaviryam
Karavavahe
Karavavahi
Tejasvinavadhetamastu
Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma
ma
vidvishavahe.
vidvishavahe.
Om Shanti
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 Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Chaturthodhyayah.
Atha Chaturthodhyayah.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shloka number 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya
Yada yada hi dharmasya
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
यदा धर्मस्य ग्लानिः अधर्मस्य अभ्युत्थानं भवति तदा अहम् आत्मानं सृजामि. So this is the reason why Bhagavan descends down as Avatara. Why he assumes a Sharira, Mayika Shariram, that is Avatara. What is the purpose of his incarnation? Whenever there is a decline in dharma, righteousness, practicing the right living, and increasing adharmasya abhyuthana. When dharma decreases, adharma increases. Dharma decreases, adharma increases means the followers of dharma decreases, the followers of adharma increases. When the followers of adharma increases, when the followers of dharma, that is dharmika, would not be able to follow dharma, they will cause problem. So when dharma decreases, adharma increases. He incarnates for what? The next shloka is says for the protection of dharmikas from the adharmikas, to protect the people who are righteous. When they are attacked by the unrighteous, they have to be protected. Therefore, having incarnated, what does he do? He protects the righteous people. So the following shloka says, what does he do having incarnated? And here, this shloka, what is the purpose of his incarnation? Why does he take a shariram, Maika shariram? We saw in the previous shloka that Krishna's Janma represented the concept of avatara. As Ishvara, Krishna is Krishna is an avatara, is Ishvara. That is why he is Ishvara. Krishna is the looked upon as the Lord, not from the standpoint of the son of Vasudeva. From the standpoint of son of Vasudeva, is a limited individual. He cannot be Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara means it's avatara. It's a special appearance of the Lord. And when he says Ajaha Avyayatma, it means it talks from the standpoint of Ishvara. That's an avatara. Avatara teaching. Avatara teaching. Krishna teaching is, Ishvara teaching is. Krishna as an Ishvara is avatar. So the incarnation of the Lord as a guru teaches Arjuna. So even though he is unborn and therefore not subject to death, Ajaha Avyayam, there being no death, even for Atma there is no Janma, there is no Maranam. So Atma is Ajaha, it's not born. Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha, in the second chapter it is said, Ajaha, Atma is Ajaha, it is Puranaha, it is Nityaha. Atma also doesn't have Janma Marana. And Krishna as Ishvara also doesn't have Janma Marana. The cause for Janma Marana is karma. So as Ishvara, Krishna doesn't have karma. Therefore he is avatara. He appears as though Pratibhasika is avatara. Though he is Ishvara, the Lord of the entire creation, by the powers of his Maya alone, he was born as though. He is Ishvara and he is as though born. As though born, therefore avatara. So Krishna as Ishvara, when he incarnates, is called Krishna Avatara. Krishna as Ishvara, the Lord of the entire Srishti, he was born, therefore, he was born as though, therefore he is Avatara. As though born, therefore Avatara. So Avatara is therefore as though born, not really born. It means not Vyavaharika, it is Pratibhasika, as though born. Without being subject to his own dharma and adharma, papa punya, he was as though born in a particular form. In this particular form, that is Krishna Avatara. He is born. The Lord is born in this avatara, in this form. There is no punya papa. There is no cause for his janma. No punya, no papa. Therefore, what could be the cause of his janma? Since the general cause is punya papa for janma, and this janma and all the changes happening to the shariram, since it is not there, therefore is ajaha api jayate. Ajaha api jayate. Even though doesn't have janma, but as though born. That is avatara. That is avatara. So Krishna as Ishvara gives a teaching, and he says, I incarnate by the power of Maya, that is avatara. I incarnate myself. So he says, I'm an avatara. I'm an avatara, not bound by papa punya. As the creator of this jagat is Ishvara. So the Upadesha, Agam Proktavan, Agam Avyayam, Vivaswan, iti is said that as the Lord of this Srishti. As the Lord of the Srishti, he was there before. And now in this form he is there now. The same Ishvara, but it's called Avatara. As Krishna, he was not there before. In the beginning, Ado Vyaham Vivaswan Vivasvate Proktavan. I taught this to Vivaswan. Not as Krishna, but as Ishvara I taught. But now, as Krishna, I teach you. Here Krishna is Avatara. Now at this time, at the time when Krishna and Arjuna were there in the battlefield, that time Krishna says, I'm Avatara. I'm Ishvara taking this particular form, Avatara. So Avatara doesn't have karma, therefore Ajaha. But is there Jayate Iva as though born, therefore it is Pratibhasika. It has got subjective reality. Subjective reality doesn't mean that Krishna is perceived only by Arjuna. Is perceived by all the jiva, his parents, friends, everyone. Like the sky is perceived by all. It is the same blue sky, but it is colorless, appearing blue, birthless as though born. Similarly, that is the drishtanta you can give. So the creation is Ishvara's form, and in that creation, jivas are born. The creation is Ishvara. The Jagat is nothing but the form of the Lord. In that, jivas are born, and Ishvara also can take special form within the Srishti, as now Krishna has taken in Dwapara Yuga. So, from the standpoint of consciousness, Chaitanyam, there is only one Paramatma. There is Paramatika Drishtya, there is only one Atma, Atma Paramatma Brahma. Thus, consciousness being one. Therefore, each jiva is Paramatma Brahma. From the standpoint of someone who is looking at the world, however, the one becomes the many. This one becomes many as though it's not really. From the standpoint of the someone, that is Upadhi. Someone means the person, individual. That is for the Upadhi, is Sharira Mana Sangata. From the standpoint of his body, mind, sense complex, is Upadhi. The same Atma as though becomes many. Because of the different body, mind, senses, therefore one Atma becomes the many. The same sun reflecting in different water bodies. So therefore, there is a difference between Ishvara and Jiva. So Jiva Ishvara Veda is an appearance in the Pratibhasika, in the Vyavaharika, because of the Upadhi. That is why Jiva transaction, Jiva Jagat transaction, and Jiva Ishvara also in the form of worship. Because Veda is there, as though Veda is there, because of the Upadhi. Upadhi is not real. In the empirical reality, Upadhi is real. Upadhi has got Satyatvam, relative Satyatvam, not really Satya. It has got, that's why empirical. It has got empiricality, the transactory world. Jiva is a person who looks upon himself, herself as a physical body, mind, senses. With the Upadhi, he identifies, therefore becomes an individual. Karyakarana Sangata, with that, he has got Abhimana, therefore, due to avidya, ignorance, he considers himself as a Karyakarana Sangata. That is because of avidya. And because of this avidya, ignorance, jiva continues to be born as a jiva. Because of ajnanam, he is jiva as a sense of individuality, therefore he is born, grows, all the Shad Vikara, six type of changes happens to the body. The change happening to the body, he thinks the change happening to himself, therefore subject to Janma Marana, subject to Papa Punya, the sense of doership and enjoyership, therefore Papa Punya, therefore he is Jiva. What is the Karanam for this? Ajnana. Ajnanat, this Atma, having Abhimana with this Upadhi, undergoes this samsara cycle, samsara, Maranam Janma, this Janma Marana samsara cycle. That is because of Ajnana. Therefore, out of ignorance, a person continues to perform actions which produce Papa Punya that result in yet another birth. So, karma pala, again karma pala iti, Janma Marana cycle continues, samsara cycle continues for this individual jiva, who is nothing but Atma. From the standpoint of consciousness, Paramatika Drishtya, it is Atma. But because of Ajnanam, because of Abhimana with the Sharimana Sangata, he is a samsari. This is, of course, from a particular point of view. Particular point of view. As a jiva, this is particular point of view is Paramarthika standpoint doesn't have jiva, being Atma, doesn't have Janma Marana, but have Janma Marana. Therefore, from a particular point of view. From the empirical standpoint, jiva undergoes this samsara chakra, undergoes this samsara, cycle of samsara in the form of this Janma Marana. As a jiva, you look at the world and yourself, seeing differences where there is none. This is a standpoint from which all these discussions and arguments take place. That is standpoint of Vyavahara, Vyavaharika, Satta, empirical reality. I am there, I look at the world, the perception of the world, other jivas are there, Jagat is there, and Ishvara also is there. As Avatara is there, Krishna as Avatara is there. So transact with them. But Krishna's Avatara is not Vyavaharika, it is Pratibhasika. That I already talked about. Why is Pratibhasika? All the reasons have been talked about. It is not empirical, doesn't enjoy empirical status as that of the other jivas, as that of this Jagat. Therefore, Pratibhasika. We say that jiva is one who is born because of his own karma, whereas Avatara is one who is not born because of karma. Therefore, it is not empirical. That is the reason empirical. A jiva looks at the world, a jiva looks at another jiva. The jiva transaction is there because jivas are born of karma, therefore empirical. What about Avatara? Avatara is not born of karma, because no karma is there. Therefore, how can you call it as we have? How can you call the reality of Avatara as empirical? If it is empirical, the transaction with the Avatara also should be same as that of the transaction with the jiva. But Avatara is not born because of karma. If he is born is born of karma, then he would be a doer. And being a doer, it must have avidya like any other jiva. If this were the case, then Avatara would be a jiva, and you will be transacting with that jiva, not Ishvara. Therefore, you have to accept that there is a difference between jiva janma and Ishvara janma. A jiva transacting with the world meaning the people, other jivas, and the same jiva transacting with Ishvara. So the jiva janma and Ishvara janma must be different. Even though as Ishvara, Krishna is available for all, but still it doesn't come under empirical reality. It is Pratibhasika. That is with the example of Akasha, the blueness. The blueness is seen by all the people. At the same time, it is not blue. So, therefore, Pratibhasika. There is a degree of reality should be understood. Otherwise, it will cause confusion. So, it is not the same. The Swapna Jagat, the Swapna Prapancha, the Jagat Prapancha, that is a good way of understanding subjective reality. But problem is, in the once the Swapna Prapancha, the dream world is Pratibhasika. It is Pratibhasika fine. But when you wake up to the Jagrat Avastha, when you wake up, this Prapancha, this Jagrat Prapancha, this world, the waking world. From the standpoint of the waking state, Sapna is dismissed as Mithya. But you cannot dismiss like that the Pratibhasika in the empirical reality, like the blue sky. Blue, still you see, it is there. Still you see in the empirical reality itself, you see the blueness of the sky. So, if Swapna Prapancha is Pratibhasika, that Swapna Prapancha is dismissed in the Jagrata Avastha as Mithya, because it is not available. The Swapna, I saw a tiger chasing me, I sweat, but when I wake up, there is no tiger. It is dismissed as Mithya. Like that, in empirical reality, in Vyavahara, even though even though the sky it is not blue, appears blue, that you cannot dismiss a color. Color appears as blue for everyone. It doesn't disappear like the Swapna Prapancha disappears once you wake up. So here there is a difference. That's why that instead of giving Swapna Drishtanta, the Drishtanta of the sky and its color, that Drishtanta is better, so that we understand Pratibhasika is well within the no, it's available for the Ishvara as Pratibhasika, as a subjective reality, is available for all the jivas, for transaction of all the jivas. So that is Pratibhasika. The whole creation is Ishvara, and when Ishvara assumes a particular form for a given purpose at a particular time, at a given time, we call that form an avatara. Avatar also comes to this world alone, this empirical reality. Here only he comes and establishes dharma. Even though that is transacts with the empirical world, but still is not of the empirical reality. This is important to understand. That is why instead of Swapna Drishtanta, this the blueness of the sky, that example is better. That example is better. The concept of avatara is not mentioned in the Veda. I think we have read all these paragraphs. The concept of avatara is not mentioned in the Veda, although devas and gods are referred to. Rama and Krishna, for instance, are presented as avatara in the Puranas. But for our purposes here, it doesn't matter whether Vyasa put the wisdom into Krishna's mouth when he wrote the Mahabharata, or if historical Krishna actually did the talking. Whatever it is, the teaching is important for us. If we look Mahabharata as historical, itihasa, as is a general case, it is historical. That is why itihasa. This is how it happened, itihasa. Then Krishna himself talked. Then we can take that Krishna himself gave the teaching. Itihasa means itihasa. This is how it happened. This is how it was. Gives the epic a certain historicity. However, it is also recognized that many of the stories found in the Mahabharata have been spun around historical events. The Mahabharata is considered to be poetry, just as Ramayana is both historical and poetic. Both are historical. Historical evidences are the historical, at the same time it is poetical. This means a poet has a poetic license to create the rasa. Rasa means the taste. Here the taste is taste the kavya rasa, the taste which is the kavya, the literature presents. That navarasas are the values. Rasa translated as aesthetic values. The, all the feelings, emotions, they're all expressed. Different rasas, 9 types of feelings, emotions are there. Rasas, that's called rasa. Aesthetic values are the translation. Aesthetic values to create the rasas, kama, aesthetic values, and all kinds of situations at will. Thus, in Ramayana, we find that Ravana with 10 heads and Hanuman who talks as though, even though he was the form of a monkey, along with many other situations, not generally accepted as having happened or imagined. Ravana with the 10 heads is an image, it's a imagery. There can be no person, there can be a person with the 10 heads. Then he will have 10 headaches. One head, 10 headache, one head itself is the problem. 10 means 10 headache, 10 cold. So you will have, you get cold, then it's a problem. So it's not really with the 10 heads. It means the man, the person has got 10 heads, means he is, he has got the characteristics, the gunas, the 10, the gunas which are, which are, which are detrimental for himself as well as for others, which are dangerous. 10 heads, heavy head. So it describes the characteristics, the qualities of the person. He's proud, he's very haughty and tyrannical, like that. Ravana was, of course, he was a bhakta, he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In spite of that, he had some bad qualities. So 10 heads may refer to that. 10 heads may refer to different the qualities which the person has. 10 heads. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Maha, Mada, Matsarya, etc. All those are presented as 10 heads. 10 is a number, just a number, not literally 10. Why 10? He has 1,000 heads. The qualities which are not human, which are asuric, demoniac qualities. Asuri sampatti, I said in the Gita. The qualities which are of the nature of asura. Asuras are demons. We say devil, demons. What qualities they have? They have dushta qualities. They have qualities which are not appreciated, which are harmful. The qualities which are harmful, which are dangerous, which hurts other people. So those are the asuri. Deva asura sampat vibhaga yogo. Nama. Deva asura sampat vibhaga yogo nama. Nama. It is Shodashodhyayaha in the 16th chapter of the Gita. We will see the sampat, that is the qualities, the qualities which Deva Asura. Deva is divine qualities. Asurik is the demoniac qualities. The pride, harshness, anger, and no viveka, etc. So those are the qualities, the Asurik, some Asuri Sampat. Whereas truthfulness, non-hurting, ahimsa, shanti, and being modest, and kshama, the endurance, etc. These are the Devi Sampat. These are the wealth. Really, these are the wealth. These are the wealth of the good people. Similarly, Asuri Sampat, that is those qualities which are not appreciated, which are not cherished. So those qualities, adharmic qualities, this Ravana must be having. So therefore, he is depicted as one with having 10 heads, not literally 10 heads. So here it is poetic imagination. And monkey talking, again, that is also, you can take it as an imagination, or having happened, that is also possible. So therefore, these having happened or even imagined, whatever it may be, but we have to take the message of the story, the message of the story, which happens to be historical event also. Therefore, the author of the Itigasa presents the historical event with combined with that imaginations. They have the license to do it. They are poets. So Adi Kavi Valmiki, Adi Kavya Ramayana. So he has got the, in fact, he is Adi Kavi, the Adi Kavi, Adi Kavya, the first Kavya, Adi Kavya. And therefore he's got the title Adi Kavi Valmiki. So he presents the historical, he presented the historical event in the form of an itihasa. Itihasa, this is how it happened, mixing with imagination. So Adikavyam, Ramayana is called Adikavyam. Adikavyam, another name for that Adikavya is Itihasa. So even so Ramayana, like Mahabharata, is considered to be having based upon historical facts. Then an avatara is like an actor. So in the previous paragraph, the historicity of the Itihasa is presented. It is historical plus imagination, not purely imagination. That to be noted, it's not purely imagination. And that is why the name is Itihasa. This is how it happened, not imagination. Puranas, etc., symbolic representation of certain things. There it is imagination. You'll see imagination in the Puranas. That Purana symbolically presents the facts, the creation, etc. Symbolically presents. Purana. Purana is different, Itihasa is different. Itihasa historical. Purana need not be historical. It can be historical, need not be. There is no way of verifying it. Therefore, it is a story which is concocted by the author. That is mainly Vyasacharya. He only wrote all the 18 Puranas. That is why it is classified as Puranas and Itihasa separately. We divide our Shastram into Upanishad, then that is Shutihi, then Smritihi, then Purana, then Itihasa, like we divide our Shastram. Shruti is revealed by the Lord to the Rishis. Smriti, written by an author. Purana, the stories that are also written by the author. Maybe historical, more of imagination. Mainly imagination. May not be historical also. There is no way of verifying it. So we have to accept it as it is fiction, but has some message to convey. And Itihasa is historical event mixed with imagination. Since the author has a privilege to mix imagination, therefore mix it with imagination. Fine. Now, in the Purana, in the Mahabharata, in the Itihasa, Mahabharata and Ramayana, we find this avatara coming, Rama and Krishna. In the Mahabharata, Krishna is an avatara. Then who is this avatara, Krishna? An avatara is like an actor. Krishna then is presented as an avatara, which is something like an actor who appears on a stage. The actor knows very well that he is not the role. Since Krishna knew he was playing a role, his birth can be considered neither Paramarthika, that is absolutely real, nor Vyavaharika, empirically real. Thus, in terms of the orders of reality, there is only one possibility remaining to account for an avatara, Pratibhasika, albeit a different type of Pratibhasika, because avatara knows he's playing a role, that it is not real, just play. That is why whatever avatara does is a Leela. Krishna Leela, Rasa Leela, and all. It's a Leela, it's a play. Similarly, a Jnani also, performing an action, doesn't look upon himself or herself as a Karta, like Avatara. Avatara plays a role, enjoys playing the role. Similarly, Jnani also plays a role, doesn't have Kartrutvam. So, from the standpoint of Jnanam, no difference between Jnani and Avatara. This means there is no real Vyavahara for Jnani. Jnani acts in the world. Jnani acting in the world, doing the action of eating, walking, etc., that Vyavahara. But Jnani doesn't have Vyavahara. It is only from the perspective of the people, the viewers, is doing. But Jnani doesn't have Kartrutvam. Then how can Jnani do any action? Even the Laukika Karma. Therefore, there is no real Vyavahara for a Jnani. When there is no real Vyavahara for a Jnani, you can accept there is no Vyavahara for Avatara also. Therefore, it is not real. From his or her standpoint, meaning from the standpoint of Atma, everything is pratibhasika. Ishvara appears as though he is born with a given physical body. What it does, of course, in the realm of Vyavaharika. But from his standpoint, that is from the Ishvara, from the vision of Avatara, from the vision of Ishvara, an Avatara is purely pratibhasika, purely Maya. So Avatara is purely pratibhasika from his standpoint, purely Maya, like the Jnani. From the standpoint of Atma, everything is pratibhasika. This is like a magician who makes things appear by his or her own powers. For those who are watching that the magic is doing, everything is real. But for the magician, everything is magic Maya. Because this is the kind of birth being discussed, the questions when and why naturally arise. The questions about when and why, such as when is Ishvara born, how often is born, is he born daily, is he born every century, or is he born every other day in different places, and how is he born, for what reason he is born, all these are addressed in this shloka and in the following shloka. When does Ishvara assume a body? That is said in this shloka, the current shloka. Yada dharmasya glanihi adharmasya bhritanubhavati. Because human beings enjoy free will, there may be abuse of free will, which can lead to the destruction of law and order, dharma. It can disturb the order. So therefore, when this destruction happens, a person can no longer follow legitimate means for achieving legitimate ends. Nor can the person follow the means of gaining moksha because the society is not at all conducive to such a pursuit. So therefore, even for a person to pursue prosperity legitimately, there must be an order. There must be an infrastructure, a structure of law and order that the majority of people follow. So therefore, the person abuses free will, all this will collapse. The societal structure will collapse. Therefore, when the structure collapses, Bhagavan, Ishvara assumes a particular form to rebuild that, to repair that, to reconstruct it for the purpose of dharmikas. You can see this in a simple game of football. If no one follows the rules of the game, there is no game. Suppose a player dispose of the referees and blow their own whistles whenever they are not winning. How can there be any game? There is no football played. There is only a free for all. Similarly, the game of life cannot be played and enjoyed if there are no rules. And since human beings enjoy free will, he can abuse his free will also. Free will being a privilege, a faculty distinguishing human beings from other beings given. If not used, if it is abused, then it will destroy the structure of the society, which is supposed to be within the within the order, following the order, with law and the order. So therefore, when it is disturbed, when it is disturbed, then the members of the society will suffer. So therefore, in order to protect them, in order to protect the people from suffering, that is mainly this dharmika from suffering in the hands of adharmika, therefore to rebuild the structure, to repair the structure, Bhagavan incarnates. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkratam. The next shloka. By protecting the good people and by destroying the adharmika people. Dharma can be protected only by protecting the dharmis. Dharma is protected by protecting the dharmis. Dharma doesn't exist apart from dharmis. So if dharma is to be protected, then dharmis have to be protected. Then other means have to be punished. Either have to be punished or they have to be removed for the benefit of the society. So that is what Bhagavan does. So in the home itself, certain rules are required so that daily life can proceed in an orderly way. And if these rules are not followed, there will be no home, only a mess. Society is the same. It is true that there will always be some foul play, as there is in any game. But if the majority of the players refuse to follow the rules, the problem becomes enormous and cannot be ignored. This kind of problem is called dharmasya glanihi, the decline in right living. Majority of the people, then what will happen to the minority? The minority will suffer under the influence of majority. If majority are given to adharma, then the society is said to be adharmika, and the minority will suffer under the majority. So dharmasya glanihi, that is one thing. Second thing, the infrastructure for human behavior is based upon one's free will. And when this free will is abused at every turn, something drastic needs to be done to put things in order, to bring back the order requires a drastic action, and this drastic action is done by Ishvara. Although Ishvara himself doesn't really decide to do anything. Like all actions, this drastic action is also a result, a karma pala of another action. What is that action? The total action, that is samashti karma, that is in the form of prayers, everyone's prayers, samashti prarthana, a total prayer. The minority, that is the dharmika, who suffer under the influence of this majority, adharmika, they pray because they pray the prayer as adhishtapala. The adhishtapala that invites the Lord to incarnate as an avatara, to come down as an avatara. When people who want to follow dharma suffer at the hands of the others, generally the people would be less, they will be less in number, therefore minority, minimum in numbers. They find it impossible to follow dharma. These are all depicted in Purana. When rishis and sages, they do yajna, these asuras come and disturb the yajna. They don't allow the rishis to perform their karma. Even for Vishwamitra, when he wanted to perform a yajna, an asura was troubling him. Therefore, he sought the help of Rama to protect him his yajna. Not that Vishwamitra could not handle, he can handle, he himself can handle. But as a rule, when a person performs a yajna, he's not supposed to get angry. He should perform with a composed mind. Therefore, he sought the protection of Rama. And Rama killed those asuras who disturbed the yajna of Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, great sage. So there are always people, asuras, who who stands as an obstacle for the people, for the dharmika people. So they are pratibandha. They are hindrances for following dharma. So therefore, when people suffer at the hands of others, that is adharmikas, they find it impossible to follow dharma. As a result, even moksha is also not possible when artha-kama pursuit itself, legitimately gaining itself, is not possible. Then what to talk of moksha? The moksha pursuit itself becomes impossible because society is not conducive for the pursuit of moksha. So when such a situation occurs, everyone prays. That is the dharmika who suffer at the hands of the adharmika, they pray. They pray that they want something to be done. They feel helpless. They know nothing can be done by them. Therefore, they surrender to the Lord and pray. That prarthana, samashti prarthana, collective prayer. Prayer also being a karma. Prayer also being a karma, the karma produces result. Drishtapalam as well as adrishtapalam. That adrishtapalam alone becomes the nimitta for the avatara of Ishvara. So what is the nimitta? What is the cause for Ishvara to descend down as avatara is the samashti prarthana, the collective prayer. The collective prayer is the nimitta. Then adharma is the real cause for the destruction of dharma. So that we will read in next class. These two shlokas are famous shlokas. They read together sometimes. Yada yada gidharmasya glanerbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatvanam sujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Atmanam sujami yada dharmasya glanihi bhavati adharmasya abhyuttanam bhavati atmanam sujami yuge yuge, in every yuga. For what? Paritranaya sadhunam, for the protection of sadhus, dharmikanam. And vinashagya dushkritam, dushkritam adharmikanam, dushkritam, dushkarma karoti. They do all the dushkarma, all the actions which abusing their free will. They do actions which creates problem, which disturbs the order, which disturbs the order of the society. Therefore, dharma samsthapanarthaya. Therefore, to bring back the order by protecting, that is possible only by protecting the sadhus, dharmikas, because dharma is with the sadhus. Protecting the sadhu only, dharma can be protected. Dharma alone cannot be protected. Dharma as value is with the dharmika. So protection of dharmikas is protection of dharma. Therefore, paritranaya sadhunam, paritaha, all-rounded protection of the sadhus, dharmikas, and the destruction. Here, vinasha, yeah, destruction. It is physical destruction, or it could be correction, correcting the dharmikas if possible. If not possible, destruction. Sama dana beda dhanda. Final weapon is final means is destruction. In the beginning, they advise, they caution. All these means are adopted. When the asuras, when the dushkrita, they don't heed to that, then no other way, then they have to be destroyed. Like in the Mahabharata itself, when Krishna went as a diplomat to Duryodhana, Krishna gave all the options, but but Duryodhana was not ready to give, did not want to give even a piece of land to Pandavas. Since there was no other way, therefore war had to be declared. So fine, that is destruction. So vinashaya dushkrata. We'll see. We'll continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya
Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.